everybody, and welcome to Rise of the Podcast. I am Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm sitting behind some brand new technology. And
Woo!
I'm Brownie.
Ooh, episode
Fancy.
99.
Clone
99.
Trooper 99.
Oh, 99.
We're saying we're done?
99.
No.
We're not gonna
99's the best. He's so cool.
The clone 99.
The clone 99. Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's like
Oh.
he meets a tragic fate, spoiler.
I mean, it's true. But he was clutch in them defeating the Separatists on Camino.
True,
Well,
true.
really, Anakin, beat Asajj Ventress back.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if it wasn't for 99, Fives would have been dead and all them.
Anyways, guys, it's episode 99. We have some fun stuff we're going to talk about this week. First, I want to acknowledge some of our fans. Cam sent us this awesome glow-in-the-dark 3D printed Yoda head, and this thing is so cool. So first off, Cam, you're probably not here yet. Is he here yet? No.
I haven't seen him in chat.
So once he pops up, we'll probably readdress this, but I just wanted to give a little shout out and say
It
thank you
glows
very much.
like insanely
It's
well.
so cool. So it's glow in the dark. It's 3D printed. There's a ton of fidelity. And the first thing I look at when I see this is look at the overhang here. I don't know how he printed this unless, he used a ton of support.
You talking about the ears?
Yeah, the ears, even like the chin. There's a lot of cool detail here. I'm impressed. This thing is awesome. Super, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Chris said we love getting free stuff. We love it. So if you guys want to send us something in the mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 3110.
Cam, are you Gus386 on Twitch?
Right.
Gus. I love Gus and Cinderella. I'm
Wait,
guessing.
who's Gus?
Just that username said yes I am, so I'm just curious if that's Cam or not.
Oh, is he on
So
Twitch?
we just noticed there's about a 22-second delay between
About a 20-second delay from what you see versus what we
And
have there. So
Gus is the
chubby mouse.
the
in
chubby
Cinderella. He's
mouse
the
that
funny
wears
one.
the yellow shirt and the green hat.
oh.
His real name is Octavius, but they call him Gus.
Mike wants to know if Jeremy does a polar plunge for the 100th episode.
no, no.
Negative Ghost Rider. For the 100th episode, they have this super
That
spicy
is Cam.
popcorn at FYE. I almost bought it for you.
No, get out of here with your super spicy stuff. Spicy food challenges are done for the time being. So Cam, is Gus on Twitch?
Yes.
All right, Cam, thank you so much. This thing is sweet. If you want to type in, how did you get the ears? How did you print the ears on this thing? That's incredible because it's like there's barely any print lines and I don't see any support marks.
Also, to everybody out there, we have a new audio mixer, and we were up to hitting it go live. We're tweaking the settings on it. So if something sounds crazy or terrible or anything, let us know.
We need your feedback.
We need your feedback because if this sounds like garbage.
Do you want to tell them what the new feature of this thing is yet, or do you want to wait?
Oh no, we can tell because
it's not work. We haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, the reason outside of Jeremy, tell me an impressive accomplishment you've had.
I was Airman of the Year.
So you can play sound effects.
Tell us a bad dad joke.
Well, if seagulls flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Yep. I'm hoping those played through. I'm not monitoring right now, so they should have played.
Let us know if you
in the
heard
chat.
funny
Let
noises.
us know. if
Yeah,
you
do
think
the
that's-
sound effects work? Anyway, we didn't get it for the sound effects.
No,
that's just
no.
bonus.
That's just a small bonus.
We have it so we can have people call in and be guests remotely. It's something that's been requested.
Legitimately call in.
Yeah.
Like,
James.
What?
I said Jeremy's voice sounds a little weird. Oh, wait, that's his normal voice.
Oh.
it should sound deeper and better.
James also
robust.
said you need to dress up as Yoda. If anyone's dressing up as Yoda, it's Chip.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yeah, he's
But
he's
it
more
won't even
size.
be Yoda. It'd be Grogu.
Grogu.
He could be Yoda.
Cam said he sanded the support marks off of the ears.
Nice.
So this is a PLA print.
Yeah, yep, it's PL.
Okay, so I gush about Adam Savage a lot.
Yep.
Maybe not on the podcast, but in real life. And he just got a brand new $11,000 resin printer.
Oh
The thing
my
is,
gosh.
It's like the size of this. It's huge.
Oh my
you know
gosh.
what you could just the print line, they're non-existent in those basically.
Well, and then he showed a print that he had done or whatever, and so This one's interesting. So the plate is at the top and it rises up with it.
Yep.
And you see all the support, so it's like the build and then all the supports that had to go to keep it sticking to it.
Yep.
As it was going up. It was insane, like the lattice work and stuff.
Crazy.
3D printing is so awesome.
Yeah,
it is really neat.
Yeah,
it is super cool.
David says we sound good on the surround system. Somebody says we sound good.
Nice.
These microphones sound awesome on this.
Well, there's always something, right? So how long did we mess around with trying to get the Rode mic to sound good?
Yeah, so, okay, here's the thing. This is a Rode mixer. We were using a Behringer USB X32 before. No, USB 1204. And now we're using a Rode Podcast Pros, whatever it's called, right? So it's a Rode thing. We have a Rode shotgun microphone that we use for doing Lego builds and stuff. And it sounds like crap. It sounds awful.
Yeah, it's echoey. It's weird.
And it sounded just fine before. It didn't sound as good as these anyway, but it sounded great before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But these, and so we're using Audio-Technica AT2020 XLRs.
Yep.
For those of you who are curious, with pop filters.
Link in the description. Amazon affiliate link.
I wish. But just set to their basic podcast mic preset, they sound incredible.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of crazy stuff. I had to turn the noise gate off because it was really clippy, but...
Oh, it was clippy with that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was clippy with these two.
Oh, got it.
But yeah, so for those of you who are interested as tech nerds, I gotta check something real quick here. What other fancy things do we have here? Kara, tell me a joke.
I don't know. What's red, white, and black all over?
I have no idea.
A penguin diaper rash.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you don't remember those? What's red, white, and black all over?
Please.
Or white, red. Black, white, and red all over?
Yes.
A newspaper.
There. I'm gonna try and not use these a lot, but the temptation is there.
Oh, for sure.
So you gotta use them once in a while.
The sounds that we have, for those of you who are wondering, it's something called intro outro. It just plays like a song. There's laughter, applause, sad trombone, which you've heard like 4 times already. Rim shot, scary, crickets, and harp.
Fun.
Crickets. The cricket should be the one that plays after Jeremy's jokes.
Oh, whoa. Kara's over here just throwing spears at me. Just launching them at me. But no, so Chris has been absolutely working his butt off this week in preparation for episode 100. So you're definitely going to want to be here next week. It's going to be epic. It is going to be awesome.
It could potentially go for like 3 hours.
It's going to be sweet.
So I'm definitely going to have to bring a bottle for Chip. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just have Chip get his own apartment because he'll be grown up by the time we're done.
With how fast that child is growing, yes. He's already grown like 5¼ inches since he was born.
I was talking. Oh my god, that is the crookedest shot of you I've ever put together.
What did you?
It's just not level.
Hold on. I'm gonna try and fix this.
And then when you come back, we'll start our big one for the night, which is going to be talking about the last Blockbuster.
Which is
pretty cool.
actually an excellent.
Oh, dang. He's going even
that.
as far as unhooking the HDMI. Crazy.
Woo, hot dog. That's
See.
Chris is crazy. Anyways, all right. So first of all, Kara does it. So the last Blockbuster. All right. Super cool. Oh, I get my own angle. The last Blockbuster is a movie that just came out on Netflix. It reminded me a lot of Justin for some reason because just like his desire to own physical copies of media was really cool. But anyways, it's got James Arnold Taylor in it, who is the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Clone Wars. It's got Kevin Smith, who's responsible for Clerks. It's got a couple comedians that I hadn't seen. He did. So there's the movie Super Size Me, and then this guy did a movie called Super High Me, and then the comedian from that movie he was in that talks about the last Blockbuster.
Oh, I appreciate that, James. The shot looks a lot better now.
Chris did all that work to.
So the guy named it Super High Me, so it would always be right next to Super Size Me.
Yeah.
I've seen both of those actually.
Are they
have
good?
you?
Yeah, they're interesting.
I've never seen either one.
So Super Size Me didn't have the same like shock value that it was supposed to have on me, because like the basic concept for 31 days, he's gonna eat nothing but McDonald's. He has to try everything on the menu at least once, and whatever. And like he was talking about how like by like the such and such day, like he couldn't stand it anymore. But then he physically or he mentally didn't want it, but physically like craved it. Like he needed he wouldn't
Oh,
feel right until he
crazy.
ate something from there. Then he like felt like he'd like start his day or whatever. It was
Weird.
insane. But and he gained like 40 pounds in a month or something.
Oh
Crazy.
my gosh.
And he just like he talked about how like there's like the worst possible food, whatever. But here's the thing. McDonald's is not trying to put itself out as your daily meal store. It's just
Right.
It's
if
true.
you want fast, semi-decent food,
Right. Quick food.
you know, and it's never represented itself as like a health food store or as a grocery store or anything like that.
Right.
It's hamburgers and milkshakes.
Right.
It's all it's ever been.
The McWrap needs to come back. That's all I have to say.
The snack wrap?
The snack wrap. Yeah, not the McWrap. The snack
Yeah.
wrap. That has to come back. I love that thing so much. It was so stinking good. Why'd they get rid of it?
But they still have all the components to make it. It's just a tortilla, shredded cheese, ranch, and a chicken strip.
Yeah.
They have all the parts.
Yeah. So it's like,
Is there
What
any
do
way you
they
can
do?
customize order a chicken sandwich minus the buns, add wrap, add lettuce?
So
but they don't have tortillas, do they?
Yeah, they have tortillas for the breakfast burritos.
They totally do 100%.
It's the exact same tortilla. I used to work in McDonald's. I know these things. They had the snack wrap when I worked
Why
there.
wouldn't they have the snack wrap then?
So I don't know. What you need to do is just get chummy with somebody that works at McDonald's and be like, "Look, snack wrap is king."
That's my goal in life.
Right. So what you need to do, like, and then just find a way to be like, "I'll pay you $1.59 for it or whatever they used to cost."
Actually, I'm pretty sure I have a patient that works at McDonald's.
So you just need to get them. Just
Be like, hey, brah, I need you to make me a snack wrap.
oh, okay. So now that we're talking about McDonald's, they have $2 Big Macs right now at McDonald's.
What?
I know.
You know what's
Yeah.
ridiculous? A McDouble is $2.29.
So there's never an environment right now where you should not order a Big Mac versus a McDouble.
Yeah, you literally
Or,
just order a
yeah.
Big Mac, only ketchup and mustard. You're getting a McDouble on a better bun
Yeah.
for cheaper.
Isn't that insane?
Isn't there more meat on the Big Mac?
The same meat. They're both.
Oh, is it?
Both regular.
Oh, okay. Like the
Patties.
little 1/8 patties or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually 1/10 of a pound.
Ooh.
So they get you.
I'm sure that's probably what the double stack was at Wendy's.
But back to the last Blockbuster.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
That's
yeah,
the,
so-
the McDonald's tangent we had to take.
So back to the last Blockbuster. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. You can watch it, and you know it's whatever. It's a documentary, so
It's good.
It's a
Watch
horse
it.
apiece. But it's kind of funny because the movie rental industry has a lot of personal things for me.
Oh, me
My
too.
buddy David worked forever at our locally owned video store called McDonald Rental, not associated with McDonald's whatsoever.
Well, speaking of McDonald's. no.
But yeah,
Well, you know, I used to work at Blockbuster.
and you worked at Blockbuster.
Jeremy actually mentioned that while we were watching the show last night.
And so I'll do some of the mind-blowing facts about Blockbuster. So at their peak, they were opening up a new store every 17 hours. Okay? Reaching over 9,000 stores.
Worldwide.
Blockbuster had reached the point where it was technically too big to fail. So it was like, what the heck happened? And it was not just all Netflix, interestingly enough, okay? So let's rewind back to what happened. So video stores became extremely popular because the movie industry decided that they wanted to sell their movies directly to the consumers.
Incorrect. There's actually more to that.
Well,
Then-
are you going to let me finish?
Are you going to talk about that whole lawsuit thing that
Yeah.
made home media possible?
Yeah.
Well, they talk about that, but basically tapes when they first came out cost $100. And so VHS players and tapes were really expensive. So somebody went to the store and they just bought some and started a rental company. And they would just rent them out for a fraction of the cost, which made it really affordable for people to get a slice of it without having to commit to buying the whole movie. And so the movie companies got really mad, and the case went all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Well, then that was over home VCRs, basically. Because there's only two ways you could watch a movie. In the theater or broadcast on television. Like home media wasn't a thing until the late 70s when when Beta and VHS were like
Yep.
competing with each other and all that. And so the studios claimed, and like very validly, that it's copyright infringement.
I don't know how the video store won, to be perfectly honest.
Well, no, it's not even the video store, just the VCR itself. The ability to copy media that is not yours.
Did that-
off of television?
So did that come? So VHS players came out, but was there a first purpose to record, and then that's when
that was why it was made to record live television. That's all the whole reason it existed.
got it. So then they decided
It's like
to
adding
sell.
the record feature onto your radio, so you could record stuff off of the radio or whatever.
Got it. So then they decided to sell to get a piece of that pie.
Well, so because they lost the court battle, saying that like I can't remember the exact specifics. Who was it? I'd have to look it up. It's incredibly interesting. There's like major power players all over the place that were like involved in this whole thing. But basically, it was like the Supreme Court said, no, you're allowed to record stuff off of this, blah, 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 right? So because they lost at that and realized that people are going to just record their stuff off of TV, they might as well get a better version of it directly from them. And then they decided to enter the market at that level. And then, like you said, like the technology was really expensive. And that's sort of where it picks up for you there. Like, then you can get it from that.
I'll to pick up from there. We got a big comment.
Oh, Brad said, I remember a guy getting charged like $200 for not returning the Terminator and Beverly Hills Cop. Dude went bat crazy. And that was even before Blockbuster.
So here's what so where it goes on to evolve from there is that movie companies just started selling their movies directly to the consumer on VHS. So they priced out what the movie would be worth to an average person, and they did price it. And this is in the 70s at $100. VHSs originally retailed for $100, which is mind blowing. But what they figured out was you could watch it in a limited amount of times. So they were going off of replicating a movie theater experience, which at the time was $3-4 or whatever, and then how many people in your family, right? So if you had 7 people in your family times 3, $21, you do that a couple times and you're going to get your value out of it. Especially when you factor in like concessions and everything else, going to the movies would be, $10 a person or whatever. So that's what they tried to base it off of. And people just didn't want to pay that much to own a copy of a VHS. And so
there's another mitigating factor in there too, is this is proprietary technology that they have to license to produce these things too. So it's like the medium itself is just expensive because it's basically brand new emergent technology.
Right.
So like they're paying this premium price to have these things made. It's not like now where like it costs 42 cents to make a Blu-ray disc to sell a copy of your game for $60.
Right.
You might be selling it for $100 and it costs $22 to make it.
Right. Until the price
you still
comes
need to
down.
get margin off of that.
So there was a huge market for a middleman buying the tapes and eating up that cost and then just renting them out. And then, of course, the whole fee thing, like rewind fees and stuff like that. Late fees.
Yeah.
People, this is never going to be a problem ever again, but people who do not rewind their videotapes, there's a special corner in hell for you.
Well, you have more first, and so does David working at the local video store. So here's where it gets interesting. This guy took his life savings, and he was basically my age, and this is what blew Kara in our mind is he opened his first video store in California. And this was before Blockbuster, and he spent $400,000 on it. And
he spent his life saving. I'm like,
how do you get $400,000 at that point in your life?
Yeah,
I'm not even anywhere near that right now.
Yeah, you're only like $350,000.
Yeah.
How nice would that be? My student, my debt would be gone.
Yeah, I'm lucky if I have $30.
So what ended up happening was they only were getting a couple copies of each movie because they had to buy the movies themselves. So they would only ever get a couple copies of each one. So this is where enter Blockbuster. A guy started it down in Texas, and he started this thing called revenue sharing. So what he did was he approached the movie theaters, and he said, hey, you give me your tapes. If I charge $5 for a rental, I will give you $3 of it and keep $2 for myself. At this point, it's kind of the best of both worlds. So he was able to up his volume, and that's where Blockbuster came in.
Mike offers a theory. He probably sold out everything and cashed out his retirement to do it.
Maybe, but he was making money hand over fist. A video rental place video rentals were absolutely insane. I mean, they ended up in every town practically in America, and a lot of them were mom and pops until Blockbuster came along. So the original Blockbuster opened in Texas in the 80s, and within a couple months, it was making so much money that he opened 9 locations. At that point, he caught the attention of the CEO of Waste Management. Waste Management bought them from them and then used it. Oh, and then the other big difference was revenue sharing and computer assets. So when he started his store, he used computers to check the movies in and out, which made it very easy to replicate and set up multiple times over and over again. So that's where this big expansion from Blockbuster came. It was an easily repeatable business model.
You know what I miss? The old dot matrix printer sound when you go and rent a movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The
Oh,
old
dude.
carbon paper. I don't think McDonald Rental ever got off of that. I think
They
they were on
never
that
did.
100% of the time, which is like nostalgia times 1,000.
It's absolutely crazy.
Hey, Gabe, welcome.
Hi,
to the stream.
Gabe.
Hey.
Hi, Gabe. We're talking about the last Blockbuster, and you can share some of your experiences of what it was like to like go rent movies as a kid. And-
Also, get a hold of Jeremy about some sort of potential thing next week.
yeah, get a hold of me. I'll get a hold of you on Discord or whatever, and we'll work something out for episode 100. Woo! Okay, so now we're gonna get into the fun of it, right? So eventually, here's what happened: Blockbuster came in and they just bought little people out. So they just say either we're gonna come to town and just open up our own location, or you can sell us your location because you're not gonna be able to compete with us. And that's what they did. That's part of the reason how they were able to rapidly expand, because we didn't get a Blockbuster until way late in the game.
It was like
I'm talking like
03.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was well after 2000. So
We were in high school for sure.
yeah. So that's what was crazy here is we got a Blockbuster super late. But the big things about Blockbuster versus other mom and pop video stores was they were able to actually put their movies out on the shelf. They didn't keep them back behind the counter, and then they got rid of the adult only section. There was no like adult only section in Blockbuster, so they could advertise as family friendly.
Yep. Your family video store.
But it gave you the opportunity to walk around and interact. Brad?
No, Wyatt says I'm too young for this topic.
That's sad, actually. You know, it's just, how depressing is that?
And we've talked about the the movie rental experience before, like how it was a big deal.
I want
Yeah.
I want to like really dive into that here in just a couple minutes.
Stick around, Wyatt. You'll be learning stuff.
You'll learn stuff. And so, okay, so McDonald Rental was interesting because they actually took the Blockbuster approach, but sort of. They kind of halved it. So they had the movie cases out, so you could interact with them, you could touch them, you could look at the back, you could get to know it. But they
got
had
the
little
pogs.
tabs hanging
Yeah.
there. Yeah, little
Yep.
pogs hanging there.
Oh, there's
And
no more frustrating feeling than seeing the movie that you want and see somebody walk up and grab the last tag.
Dude,
Yeah.
it happened. It
Oh,
absolutely happened.
Every time I went there, it happened to me.
But the flip side of that, there's a flip side.
If you were the one to get the last tag.
Or, even better, when you walked up and asked if it had been checked in again, and they pulled it out of the bin and gave it directly back to you again.
Yep.
Like, that was the coolest feeling in the whole world.
Yes.
Because it was like hot off the press, right?
Yep.
And at that point, too, it's like I've gotten some of those that were so fresh they hadn't even been rewound. And so, like, you just, like, take it and then they didn't have to rewind them. You know, stuff like that.
Brad commented, I like how he thought that was him, and then it could make me laugh like that.
Well, usually when you laugh like that, it is Brad. That's the funny thing. Brad's the one who makes you laugh like that.
Well, he's got
It's
those fun
true.
comments.
So here's where we can all
You guys
talk.
need to upgrade your comment game.
Here's where we can talk about the nostalgia portion of it. So just let's go back in time now and think of what it was like to rent movies. How cool was it? So Chris, like, just slap us with one of your memories about
All
it.
right, so like this is like I'm just gonna set up what this ends up being. What's called like the perfect summer weekend. I'm gonna paint a picture for you, but unfortunately, I need to point out that the light bar fell off of the bottom of the
darn
couch.
it.
So maybe we go into
wasn't
Kara's
me.
close up while I tell this story. and
Oh,
you can
you're
fix
so
that.
funny.
All right, so oh, there goes Jeremy.
I get shocked here.
Poor Jeremy.
I need to
All right.
this thing in here.
All right, so the perfect summer weekend. So usually would start off, our parents, we'd go grocery shopping either every couple of weeks to once a month, somewhere in that range. Pretty standard
Yep.
operation. There was nothing worse than going to the grocery store on the weekend. It was like you just knew
Yeah.
it was going to be like 2 hours. You're going to go up and down every aisle, clipping coupons. It was a nightmare. Grocery shopping in the 90s was a chore. Yeah. Anyway.
It was horrible.
And so the redeeming factor would always come like you're in the checkout line, you're helping unload cart thing after cart thing. Oh, it was the manual. Everything weighed more in the 90s. I guarantee you. Gravity was stronger. Life was tough. And so you get done, you get all your stuff, you're walking up to the car, and the parents are like, you know what? Maybe we should go to the movie store. And then all of a sudden, everything changed.
Yep.
Right, so like everything that you just went through suddenly became worth it because you're already out, you already spent a bunch of money on groceries and stuff. What's another $20 to go to the movie store and get some videos, right? And you knew, so it's like you're all gonna be tired and like spent from doing the thing. You're gonna have pizza,
Yep.
Yep.
right? You're gonna order pizza when you get home. You're gonna put your movies in. But I'm jumping the gun a little bit. So you get to the movie store, right? And it's broken down into sections. There's your comedy, your new releases, children's stuff.
Yep.
Like old action, whatever. It's all in there, right? So it's like, of course, you and any of your siblings or friends just go bolting straight for the section of the place that you want to go to, right? And it's like, and it was a win if you and a sibling each got to pick your own movie. Otherwise, you had to come to a consensus on what you wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And the amount of negotiating that took place there could rival any presidential summit. But so you go, you get your movies. You're lucky enough to be the person who gets the last token off the wall for that new Disney release, right?
Yep.
You're getting Aladdin, and you know you're going to get to watch it. And so then you go up in line. They have the fresh popcorn machine there. It just smells like a movie theater. And you're just like, you're getting in that mindset, right? And you're super excited. And then you forget that as soon as you get home, you have to unload all the groceries and put them away. And that's terrible. Because you have this golden glittering idol sitting in the corner on the countertop waiting to be watched. But then finally, you get through all of that. You put it into the thing. And the person in front of you did not rewind it. And now you got to spend 2.5 minutes rewinding this tape.
Yep.
Yes.
But then you start the movie, and then about partway through the movie, all of a sudden there's a knock at the door. The pizza comes. It's the most delicious thing you've eaten ever. Delicious, refreshing, cold, bubbly soda to go with it. And the feature presentation that you worked so hard all day playing in front of you. And that makes, like, that is like an indelible weekend that has occurred multiple times for me, and it's amazing.
Yep.
It's just not the same. So there's things that about repetition that are comforting, right? Starbucks people or coffee people, they like to hold the cup in their hand. There's something about it. Smokers love the feeling of the cigarette between their fingers. There was something about like the clip of the box, like snapping it open,
when they
having the
opened it-
physical tape, putting it in the player.
When they opened the cases on the documentary last night, I was like, I haven't heard that sound in years.
The sensation of putting the tape in and when it grabs it to pull it
Yep.
out of your hand.
Yep. Oh,
And
so
then put it
good.
into the VCR. Oh, even seeing the when we were on one of our streaming services, we watched the trailer for the original Fast and Furious. We didn't watch the movie, just watched the
That
trailer.
was 2001?
20 years ago. That's why I clicked on the trailer. I just blew my mind. And then that old green screen with like the not nearly as clear as you think it was. This following preview
Following
has been
presentation has been, yeah.
I haven't even seen that in how long? Did that go away?
Yeah, it has. There might be a variant of it that still exists, but yeah, there's not really a thing for that. We got chat piling up.
all right. Read a whole bunch of chat.
When Jeremy was fixing the light, Brad said, "Can Chip walk already?" What was that at the bottom of the screen? Gabe said, "I only went to Blockbuster one time. I mostly rented at local places for cheaper."
Yeah.
Mike says, David's mom would always get us a copy of the newest games as soon as they came out. That was the advantage.
Yes.
Having that inside connection. You just put one less tag out for the thing.
Yep.
Brad says the trick was going on days other than Friday or Saturday to get the new movies. So here's the thing. I just explained that whole process. That's how everybody operated.
So here's
So
what's
Friday and Saturday were the tough days to go and do it, but that's how much more rewarding it would be.
So here's what was cool. New movies come out on Tuesday, but McDonald Rental didn't actually put the tags out until Friday because they wanted them to be available for their busy nights. So David's mother used to actually be able to take the movie home, and she had from Tuesday to Friday to bring it back.
Nice.
So there was tons of new movies that once I got to know them that we got to watch
that's
early,
fun.
which was really cool.
Well, you remember getting screeners, right?
No.
Oh, so McDonald Rental used to get screeners. So Tony's aunt or something used to work there. And they would get like advanced copies of stuff to see if it's something they wanted to have.
Got it.
It's called a screener. So like it's like super letterboxed. And it says like not for distribution, screener test copy only, like throughout the whole thing or whatever. But I remember watching, what was it? The Legend of Drunken Master.
Oh, funny.
We got the screener copy of that before it came out.
That's cool.
And like there's a couple other things we saw that were screener copies that like we would get because literally it's just there for whoever the manager is to decide if they want to get it or not. But yeah,
For sure.
So that was like the inside connection.
So here was one of the things that I thought was kind of crazy, right? There's a couple things. So just specific to Blockbuster, but well, and McDonald Rental too in Cloquet. So the local video places. The video store in Cloquet, they went to Walmart to buy their copies for the rentals a lot of times. They didn't have like a contract through anybody. And the last Blockbuster, does the same thing to this day.
Well, whatever they don't get from their distributor, she'll go to Target and she'll buy.
I have some interesting insider information about that.
Is that illegal? Because it's not the same copy of...
Well, not necessarily, but the copies that we would get, we were charged like hundreds of dollars for, because we were making money off of them.
Yeah.
And because we got charged more for those copies, we like let's say like stuff's coming out of rotation. So like we could like, you remember there's like the $5 buy this, get it out of our hands bin or whatever, right? And like some stuff got sent to like overstock centers and stuff like that. But if like, let's say you have 90 copies of Gone in 60 Seconds left over that we just can't do anything with.
Right.
We had this specific little machine that looked like a little waffle iron that you put the thing in, and it marred the disc to make it unplayable.
No
and then
way.
they threw it away. And like, and you had to track every single one. You could not just take it home.
Huh.
And it was because of like that whole thing where it's like, because Blockbuster had so many deals with studios or whatever, to get like, they had it exclusively for the first week or this or that or whatever, and because of how much they had to charge for it, there's this whole background network of stuff that had to be going. But so part of the rule of that was you had to destroy these copies in a very specific way and log that it was destroyed.
Crazy.
And yeah, it was nuts. And I remember like,
But so how long did you end up working for Blockbuster for?
like 2 years.
That's a good stretch.
I worked not very many days. I only worked because I worked Monday or Sunday night through Thursday night. I worked midnights at the gas station. So I was working Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon at the Blockbuster. But then, because my boss absolutely loved me, I got away with so much crap there. If I hit my targets for stuff, I wouldn't have to come in the next day or anything like that. I never ran the cash register.
Nice.
All I would do, I could check movies in, and then I would talk to people about what they wanted to play or watch.
So
That's
that
cool.
was the biggest takeaway from the last Blockbuster that was really fun. So touching the movies and everything aside, it was engaging in conversation with the staff or the employees about movies. So this one Blockbuster employee was telling a story about how this person was getting this movie, and they're like, oh, I don't want to like give you any, whatever, but it's just not that good. And the people would be like, oh, I still want to try it or whatever. And he wouldn't press it. But they would come back and they'd be like, yeah, dude, that movie was horrible. What do you recommend? And then that's when you get to share your like love for like your cinephile love, right? Be like, oh, you got to check out this one or this one or this one. And you get that
I never
human
watched
connection.
more movies than when I worked at Blockbuster.
Oh, I bet.
I easily made more money on free rentals than I did on wages. Yeah.
But then
I got a couple of chat to catch up on here. I can't remember if I said this or not, but Mike said we're doing a great job of making us all feel old. Yeah. Brad said people used to swap out 3-day rental tapes into 1-week rental boxes until people caught on.
Oh,
it's a scam running there. David said most of the screeners were B titles. That's true. They weren't usually like if the Avengers was coming out, you wouldn't get a screener of the Avengers. But
right.
If like some indie title was coming out, like
Army of Darkness,
yeah, something like that. James says, still waiting for Chris to work on this show. JK, love you all. Yeah. So where were we on the? Oh, making recommendations, sharing all your stuff with people.
Yep. So you had that aspect of the movie rental thing, and that's the other sad thing about Walmart 19, as we'll say, is you're talking about the popcorn. People used to, people just stuck their hands directly in there. I mean, it came with the little things, but I mean, we all ate that popcorn. We're alive.
Yep.
We're alive here today,
Luckily enough.
And luckily enough. But no, so the fun thing, too, is this was specific to McDonald Rental. They had movies playing. So I remember David would always get to pick his favorite movies and just, like, throw those on there and have those going while people were walking around and things like that.
Yep.
But so you had the physical media of it. And so now we'll get to Blockbuster specifically. So Netflix enters the picture, and you know this, Chris, is that they were mail first. They were mail in.
Yeah, that's the only service they had.
That's the only service they had.
It was a mail subscription service.
And then before that, before Netflix streaming became super big, or right around the same time, they ended up getting Blockbuster ended up getting bought by Dish Network, it's a satellite company, and Dish started them down the path of their own streaming service. They had Blockbuster like on demand and everything, and you could go home.
Blockbuster was streamed before Netflix streamed.
Yeah, exactly, right.
So here's the thing that blows my mind, and I don't know if I'm taking anything out of what your story's going to be. But this is from like my inside perspective. So one of the things I had to do was suggest people sign up for the free week of Blockbuster Online, right?
Yep.
And And I remember like there's this whole thing where Netflix was trying to get a deal with the post office to get priority over Blockbuster for delivery.
Dang.
And everything. That was like this whole thing. But like that aside, here's the insane value that Blockbuster was trying to give people. So like they had on-demand streaming, unlimited titles. You could just stream everything you wanted.
Yep.
Right? Granted, this is like 07, 08-ish maybe.
Yep.
Somewhere in that range. I don't know, that's super clear on the date.
It's got to be pre-08 because we'll get to that.
Okay, so yeah, so this like 07 range. Like people's internet strength, the bandwidth that people had was like just on the edge to be able to stream. It was like you're still always buffering.
Yep. It was like the internet we have here.
Exactly. So it's Blockbuster pushed it a little too hard, a little too early, which is the problem. But anyway, so like because the interface wasn't super clean and easy to use, and it was still like it was almost like a Web 2.0 layout. It wasn't as polished as Netflix's thing ended up being. So like there were some problems, but like they knew that Netflix was going to be doing streaming soon. They wanted to beat them to the punch, and it's one of those things where like they just did it too early. They struck too soon. But so not only would you get unlimited streaming, but you would also get the unlimited streaming and the same number of videos by mail
that Netflix was doing.
You could either send your stuff back in the mail or bring your mail copy into the store and trade it in for a free rental.
So let's talk about that for a second. So right around that same time, the lure for Netflix, right? You created a queue. Your DVDs were in a queue, and then they would send you two, and so you never had late fees because you didn't get your next movies until you mailed the old ones back. So right around the 07-08 time frame, Blockbuster announced, and they played the commercial, and it instantly hit me with the waves of nostalgia. They're like this bunch of this angry crowd. They're like, no more late fees, no more late fees. And these Blockbuster employees drop the banner that say no more late fees, and the crowd like gets silent and they can't believe it, and they start cheering. The CEO of Blockbuster at the time got on and said that they were doing that to try to compete with Netflix and just dominate the market. That cut their revenue not by a third.
Down to a
third. Down
overnight.
Overnight. They went and lost that much money. That's how much money they made in fees because of how like the revenue sharing. They had to give so much of the movie rentals up. So that's where a big part of their money came from.
Well, and then there was even one guy that they were interviewing during the whole entire thing, and he said at that point, I just kept the movies. Like, if there's no late fees, why return them? Exactly. You know, so he said that he would go rent it for like $5, a movie that's like $20, rent it for $5 and then keep it.
Yep.
So that's the part that bit him in the butt. And then right around that time, so here's the deal. Netflix had a smaller footprint and a bunch of cash. Okay, they did. They had a bunch of cash surplus. So that's when the 08 bubble hit. When that big famous hedge fund bank thing that had been around for 150 years that started the whole 2008 recession and crash, when they announced their bankruptcy and all the stocks collapsed, Dish needed to just basically start closing down stores because Blockbuster was spread too thin. They went too hard and too fast into the streaming market and into the rental, like just having all these stores and everything that they couldn't stay afloat. And that is where the decline happened. And then as soon as they lost their foothold, it was over. They could never come back and compete with Netflix, which is absolutely crazy.
Well, at one point, they could have purchased Netflix.
Yeah, well, okay. So let's talk about that fun fact for a quick second. Yes, Best Buy. Blockbuster had the
same thing.
It's the same colors, same colors.
They're both rectangles at a weird angle.
Yep. Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix, and then did you know the straw that broke the camel's back for the guy who started Netflix? Do you know what happened?
I think so, but what's up?
100%. He was mad in the 90s for a $40 late fee from a movie he got at Blockbuster, and that was his inspiration to start Netflix. He was like, I'm going to start a company that they don't have any more late fees. And so he figured out how he could do it and started the mail-in theory and the queue, and then just send them back when you're done. That way you can just like watch them as much as you want.
Did it bring up that Netflix offered to sell themselves to Blockbuster?
Yes, it did. Yep, and they had the opportunity. And imagine what it would be like. Like you've got little old Netflix walks in the room, and you've got like all the woofs of Blockbuster hanging around the table, and they're like, ha ha ha, get out of here. They can just do it themselves.
Yeah, and that's what got them.
Yep.
Like it was that, like you're saying, that perfect intersection of like, had they just bought Netflix, Blockbuster would still be here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
Because they wouldn't, their infrastructure wouldn't have gotten spread so thin. They wouldn't have to worry about changing their return policy.
Yep.
All of that would have been mitigated had they just acquired that. And it was only for like $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't very much at all. So let's go down that rabbit trail. The fun thing they did in the documentary was they showed Stranger Things, but instead
That's
of like
what I was going to bring up.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All the Netflix shows, you know how it's like a TV show by Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
exactly. And instead of that, it came with Blockbuster, the same sound, but Blockbuster, and then Blockbuster Original, Stranger Things, Blockbuster Original, Handmaid's Tale, stuff like that.
Nice.
So it was kind of funny.
It was super crazy to think of all the things we've gotten because of Netflix. You know, it's absolutely just crazy. It's super cool. So
Is this like, are you making it so that people don't need to bother watching the
I mean,
documentary
they
at this
technically
point?
don't. And if we'll
But
finish
it's
on
funny.
this.
There's a lot of like comedy throughout the whole entire thing too. So it's worth like hearing everybody else's opinions, like the people they're interviewing. Like James Arnold Taylor does voices throughout the whole entire thing.
Okay.
Yep.
And then there's the comedians that actually just they make it funny. And then who's the one guy with the gap between his teeth, balding on top, gap between his teeth? We were like, we can't believe he used to work at Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, I know you know him 100%. You haven't seen The League, but he's or in even Fresh Off the Boat. He was the chef in Fresh Off the Boat.
Yeah, he was.
A famous actor, but he used to work at a Blockbuster,
Okay.
and that was kind of
Kevin
cool.
Smith worked not at a Blockbuster, but at a video store.
Oh, and Kevin Smith did some self-depreciation humor, and he's like,
Freaking Brad.
"What? He makes you laugh like that."
You can't spoil a documentary.
This is true. This is true.
What platform is this doc on?
Netflix.
Netflix.
That's the twisting of the knife. It's a Netflix original documentary.
Bad.
Is on the last Blockbuster.
Oh, skewered.
It just came out. You should look him up. Look up Andre from The League, and then it'll tell you the name of the actor.
Okay.
Or is Chris? Are you looking it up?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Paul Scheer.
Paul Scheer. That's who it is.
Yeah.
So he used to work at a Netflix, and then who's the geologist guy from?
From Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. He also was he was the taxi driver in The Mandalorian in the very first episode who gets eaten by the ice monster. He's in it as well.
Okay.
He reminds me of Bill, to be perfectly honest.
No, Brian Posehn. He's hilarious.
Yes, I
love
love him.
him.
I told Jeremy, I was like, he's a guy I think I would enjoy knowing. Like, he's
I
just
just wanna
kind of
be
like
friends with him.
that big brother, just kind of like,
His stand-up is really good.
He does stand up?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
What?
Look it up. Yeah, it's really good. Like, and he's huge. Like, if we were able to land a guest like that on this podcast, he would fit right in.
Oh, cool.
He loves Star Wars. Like, he does bits about all this stuff or whatever. And how his wife hates that he gives all these collectibles and stuff. And he's like, you don't understand.
I love his voice.
He did a bit in there about how he gave his daughter, I think he's his daughter, a VHS tape for this documentary, and it's like this cool Iron Maiden, it's a documentary or a movie about heavy metal, and there's just this awesome metal shining armor knight thing on the front, and she was just so fascinated by the tape inside, the physical VHS tape, and he's like, she ignored the cool box art, you know how he talks. It's so funny. Oh man. It's super, super cool.
Brad said he figured we'd be stoked that James Arnold Taylor was in it.
I love James Arnold Taylor.
We watched that, and I'm bummed out because he's been trying to figure out his place in the world, right? Even James Arnold Taylor. So you know what he struggles with? He doesn't know where to put his media. So
you put it right here on Rise of the Podcast.
right.
Yeah, right? Come and join us.
We
There's an open
listen to
seat.
his podcast, and he distributes that through iTunes. But he quit doing that as of May of last year. So the shout out that Kara got for my birthday by him that he did, which was crazy enough, he was only 1 or 2 more episodes than that. Then because of COVID and everything, he wanted people to be, I know, he wanted people to be connected. So then he switched to video. So then he did video only, and then that was on YouTube. But then he hates YouTube he hates this one, he's disappointed because every time he posts a video, he immediately has someone who hates him that goes and dislikes his video, and it really affects him. But the fact that he brings it up in every single one of his podcasts, he's probably just throws and fuels on the fire and then keeps motivating this. I'm just ignore it. Just ignore it.
And the guy will be like, oh, this isn't fun anymore. Because he says he'll post it, and 15 minutes after posting, the guy will dislike it. But his podcasts are anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And so he's like, clearly he didn't listen to my entire podcast, so how can you dislike it so quickly? So that in one of his podcasts, he was like, there should be a time limit.
Like you have to listen to so much of it before you click.
or like, since he posted it and the guy disliked it 15 minutes later, obviously he didn't listen to the whole thing. So there should be a thing where the release time has to be at least how long the podcast was before people can go start liking or disliking.
Yeah, here's the thing. All engagement is good engagement, technically, according to the algorithm, right? So it's like, the fact that this guy's going out of his way to put out a dislike is still giving him positive engagement.
It's just so funny what rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny. And like that just gets to him. It's got his number.
So real quickly, the Yoda bust, you want to grab that Yoda bust.
Absolutely.
This was made by Cam. It was a 3D print. It glows in the dark. It looks awesome. I don't know if there's a way... We can't really make any part of the studio dark, like, effectively.
No, it's
just
either
turn
all
off
or
all
none.
the lights, guys.
Yeah, it's like, it'd be, maybe at the end we'll do it, but it's cool. It's really awesome.
Super cool.
So, and we have a P.O. box. We'll put for those of you who are watching not live, there's a link in the description. If you want to send us cool stuff, we'll talk about it and put it on the shelf.
Absolutely. That thing is going to have a permanent home up on one of these shelves. We're going to be redoing them next week.
Dun, dun, dun.
In honor of episode 100.
Hold on a sec. Yay! We're gonna be doing it next week.
So we'll finish off at least the documentary about how this one became the last one. So just like any major franchise type thing, they can be owned by a person. So the one in Bend, Oregon is legitimately the last one. So as in like 2016, there was 4 left.
3 in Alaska and then
3 in Alaska,
Bend,
yeah,
Oregon.
and then 1. And so the problem was like Alaska, they probably still didn't have the internet connection to stream up there. So video rental stores stayed popular.
You didn't have an oil-powered internet engine.
Yeah, right. And then, so it was really funny. You know who John Oliver is, right?
Yeah.
He did a bit, and so Russell Crowe, when he was going through his divorce, sold off a bunch of his movie props. John Oliver bought a bunch and said that if this Blockbuster in Alaska got a hold of him, that he would ship him all of his Russell Crowe memorabilia for free. And they did, and it went up there, and it still wasn't even enough to bring in enough people. So when those Blockbusters closed, they actually sent the stuff down to the one in Bend, Oregon.
For as long as they stayed open, then they'd have to ship it back to the guy from Alaska.
Yep. And then, so like, yeah, the Bend, Oregon Blockbuster has like a leather jock strap that was worn by him in Gladiator.
They did not get that.
They didn't?
That was the one thing they didn't get, but they got like the leather cowl or whatever, and they got the silk jacket or the silk robe from, what's the boxing one?
I can't remember.
Well, and then there was the shirt from Master and Commander, I believe.
Yeah, the jacket.
Like the jacket thing.
One of my favorite movies. I know that a lot of people don't care for Master and Commander. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's
I think
so
I tried
good.
watching it and I thought it was too boring.
It's Russell Crowe, and then the doctor, I think, is Paul Bettany.
No way.
I'm fairly certain.
Look that up. So I just wanted to say that. So Russell Crowe forever will be tainted by the South Park episode where Russell Crowe was in it.
Oh, funny.
And there's a little jingle, and it's like making movies, singing songs, and fighting around the world. And then Russell Crowe's like, "Hey, I'm Russell Crowe."
Yep. Paul Bettany.
And then like people will be like, "Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe!" And he'll be like, "Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe!" And like mock them, and then you just start a fight.
Oh my gosh.
And like I don't even understand. I don't even know what the rest of the episode is about. But it's like they were trying to get Russell Crowe to stop doing whatever, and he was just constantly getting into fights. And there's like a reality TV show called Fighting Around the World with Russell Crowe.
So there's this last Blockbuster, right? And in Bend, Oregon. I think that one is still around. People say because of the Bend, Oregon is really passionate about movies. I think it's personally because the manager there, Sandy, or like the owner of the store.
Sorry, Brad reminded me he has a sidekick named Tugger the Tugboat. Sorry, you go
No,
on.
you're good. And so I really think it's her passion. So people will go and ask for movies like they want to buy, right? Like you're talking about buying them from the bin. If they don't have them, she'll go online and order them off of Amazon and then just resell them just to make the customers happy. Like this lady bends over backwards. She is going around Sam's Club and getting like Airheads, like the bulk candy and everything and putting all the candy out. And it's like, I do miss that part of it. I really, truly do. Blueberry. Well, what is it? The blue one? Blue raspberry?
I think that's what it is.
I like the watermelon one or whatever.
White
or the white, yeah, the white one.
By far the best one.
The white.
But it's just like I see all that stuff. It's
favorite
like,
Airhead, go.
Favorite Airhead.
And so here's the thing. I don't even like the texture of Airheads. That's like that weird gummy kind of.
Yeah.
I do. For whatever weird reason, I love it.
Airheads are the only thing that I can tolerate. They're so freaking good. But anything because anything ranging from like an Airhead to like a gummy worm, that texture range is really off-putting to me. Twizzlers, stuff like that.
Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, it's like
You know the secret to Laffy Taffy, right?
jokes.
Well, no, when you buy the big Laffy Taffy bars, how to make it easier to eat?
Put it in your pocket, like everything.
You slap it.
Oh, that's right, because it breaks it up.
You slap it. So it's bendable, right? Like you can take a Laffy Taffy and bend it, but like when you go to bite it, you get miles and miles and miles of it.
Oh.
My dad taught me that, and I did think it was the coolest thing ever. You just grab the Laffy Taffy, you just go whack really hard on the counter quickly, just a quick snap of it, and it busts it into perfect bite-sized pieces. So you never get like the stupid pull. You can just bite it and eat it and go about your day.
What's your favorite Laffy Taffy?
Oh, they're all good. I used to love the watermelon with the little chunks of the...
They used to have the seeds on it.
Yeah, the seeds.
They don't have those anymore. They put like sprinkles on it or something.
What?
Yeah, the
So,
seeds are no longer
Because
there.
then when you didn't smack it, you did bite it and pull it, the seeds would leave like a little air bubble where they were, and you could like pop the seeds out, and those were candy too.
Yeah. But they stopped putting those on. It must have been like a choking hazard or something.
Well, I'm sure.
Today sucks.
Everything.
Right?
Everything
Mike
stinks.
said Marketplace Meats had the best candy selection.
I remember going there and...
That's only like 2 blocks away from my house.
Yeah,
growing up.
well, my buddy, Eric would get pickled herring. So
Ew.
I never went there for the thing. We'd go get pickled herring and eat it on the way back to his house. These 2 13-year-old kids eating pickled herring walking down the street. That's got to be a Minnesota thing.
Seriously.
So that you could go to the store and buy a Reese's or any other type of candy on the face of the planet, but we're walking away with pickled herring.
I do not touch this stuff. I think it stinks. I think it
Oh,
looks
it's terrible.
disgusting.
It destroys your breath. It legitimately destroys your breath, but it is good. It tastes good.
Ew.
James says, you guys make it too easy. I could so make a comment about my favorite Airhead. Ha ha.
This has got to be me. It's gonna be me.
And Brad says there's an amazing Bob's Burgers about it. Changing candy formulas, I'm imagining.
Oh, cool. That's super cool.
Okay, so one thing I did want to talk about from the show. They said that they could remember the specific smell from Blockbuster. I don't remember the smell from Blockbuster, but I 100% remember the smell from McDonald's videos.
I'm sure it's probably very similar. So, Chris, you worked at Blockbuster, so you'll get this more. The cases that the Blockbuster things came in, especially VHS, the plastic would always get rolled at the top because people would fidget with it. That like outer plastic coating.
Yeah. It would curl in like a scroll.
Yes, it would curl exactly. And so, it was super cool. They took the documentary, put it on VHS, and then put it in a Blockbuster case, and then gave it to every celebrity to like talk about at the end of the documentary, and they like handed it to them, and then they looked at it and it had like all of the dot matrix printout like information on the side and everything. Oh, it was so cool. How good did you get? Because you had to actually, they stored the movies behind the actual box, like right out on the shelf.
We didn't have very many VHSs by the time I was. We were 95% DVDs.
Yep.
So, and here's the thing: the DVDs were actually in the cases.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Totally.
So you had to use this little magnet thing or
yeah,
whatever.
the locking strip.
And I actually figured out there's a way. If I can't remember exactly how to do it now. So there's 3 magnets in there, and it's basically, so imagine like there's a straight line, and there's a up left, middle right, bottom left.
Okay.
So then you set it exactly into this thing, and the magnets get sucked across, and they line up in the center.
Got it.
So there's a way that you could actually just go squeeze, and it would go shooting out of the thing. Like if you squeezed exactly where those things were, because they were kind of springy.
Yeah.
If you did it exactly at the same time, and it's like thumb. I think the middle finger was underneath, and then the pinky was on the top. He just goes like squeeze, and it go boom and shoot out, and then you can open up the case.
No way.
Interesting.
Like it was obviously
So-
working at a Blockbuster is easy to practice it, not working there.
Police can Slim Jim into a car. Chris could one hand open up locked DVD
Yeah.
cases. Just be like, "Bakoo!"
Well, our stupid
no, I
magnet
locked
thing
my-
got broken, so there's supposed to be a little thing on there where you slide it down and it stops it right where it's supposed to be, and then you just go whoop, and the thing slides out. And this one is like, unless you knew where the sweet spot was, it's like swiping a credit card 900 times, hoping to get it in the right spot to get it to come out. So eventually, I just figured out how to like just squeeze it out.
I just picture like at home, If kids, like parents tried to like keep their kids out of the DVD case, every case was like that. Like let's just say all DVD case was like that. It's like, oh no, I locked my keys for my DVD. Chris, you need to come, rig it open.
Yeah, Brownie's DVD locks with service.
Open up DVD cases. That's super funny. But anyways, the documentary looks like they wrapped up in October. They got their license renewed. She has to renew their license for this specific location from Blockbuster every year in October. It's on a year-to-year basis from Dish. Still, and they've been letting them use the name, so it's still open for a while. People travel from all around the world to go to this location and go visit them, and it's pretty neat. It was pretty cool to see it,
Brad says with your performance that you just did, you should get into voice acting.
I would love that. Watching James do all his voices, Arnold, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, but do it, Barney, or
That's the worst Fred Flintstone I've ever heard.
I can't do it. I never said I could do Fred Flintstone.
It's more gravelly than that.
You know what stinks?
Hey, Vaughn.
I can't do
Wilma, where's my brontosaurus?
The one
it's
that
not good either, but it's
close. The one that absolutely breaks me is Christopher Walken. James Earl Taylor does. I actually think he sounds better than Christopher Walken. Like,
everybody thinks that they can do Christopher Walken.
I can't. No way.
I used to work on trying to do different voices, and I got pretty good at a couple of them. I used to have an okay Christopher Walken, but from not practicing it, when I try and do it, it sounds like Bill Cosby for some reason. It just slips into that, and I don't know why. Brad says that might be his favorite shirt you've ever worn.
It's brand new. This is the first time this shirt has been out.
Yep.
It has never made an appearance before. I actually bought this for Kara, and when she had a baby bump, but it is a man's, but as if it's the baby bump, right? But when we ordered it back in like October or even September when the celebration was supposed to happen, August of last year, but they're like, oh, it's pre-order, so it just got shipped a week ago or whatever, and I finally got it. So, okay, yep, Chris. No, I wish you could mute me for a second. Can you mute everything? Just mute the entire show. We're gonna talk about Brad.
All right, hold on.
Gotcha.
Think about it.
All right, so
sweet, we're back.
Ooh. Hopefully you can't read lips.
Episode 99, the first time we went solo.
No, he said he can read lips. What did he say then?
Yeah, I feel like
smart.
Now I feel like I'm in an episode of Psych.
Right.
Brad's like doing the highlight thing, the ching, ching, ching. Sees the shirt, sees my lips, sees everything.
I should have just cut to Kara's close up.
Yeah.
You could have super easily. So yeah, it's just.
The film he's trying to get me to do my Christopher. You've heard my Christopher Walken, Ryan. You know it's not good. It just turns into Bill Cosby.
It's so funny. Well, that's like if I try to do a British accent, it always ends up just turning a specific one. I don't know if it's Scottish or Australian, but I cannot. I don't know how people can.
I can do a good Australian accent.
Do an Australian accent.
Okay. All right, mate, so here we are down in the outback. We're going to get ourselves a Foster's and go and strip on the barbie.
So if I try to do like Scottish or Irish or even English or, like a British accent, it all just ends up merging into one thing. So I hate doing them.
Well, so here's what I realized. So like my Australian accent's a lot of like yelling. It's like, oh, mate.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you remind me of the Aussie guy.
Right? But like we know Australian people, like Anthony Snape. He doesn't sound like that at all.
No, he doesn't.
Like he definitely sounds a lot like closer to like what people think like British English sounds like.
Well, so have you ever heard of any Aussie Man videos?
No, but I follow a couple Australian YouTubers.
Okay. Aussie Man guy really, so he does like he'll voice over, and so there's like a cat fights a praying mantis, and he voices it over. Okay. Super funny. But I'm thinking of like Margot Robbie Australian, like her actual natural accent, very pretty, very elegant. Kara. Okay, so everybody knows. Okay, you know how you do
Hugh
something.
Jackman has a really good Australian accent too.
So he is Australian.
Do you know how you do something and it's not normal, but then it becomes so commonplace you forget that it's not normal. So when you meet somebody for the first time and they realize what you do, it becomes an issue. So here's the one thing that I'm known for. Like people get in my car and they get like whenever I said that, I have my Siri on my iPhone set to British. I've had it forever. I have British Siri. I love it. It's the coolest thing. We were driving out to California. She's like, get on the motorway. Take the slip road. She does everything. Roundabout. I love it. It's epic. Epic when the way she talks. Everything's different. Directions, everything. Instead of saying, if you put it to American, I had to go get my windshield replaced. instead of saying safe light, she goes, "You're now approaching Cephalite Auto Glass." And just like the way she pronounces everything is super funny. So for some reason, so Kara set hers to British Siri years ago as well. For some reason, we're driving and she sets directions, and what happened? It was just gone.
It was American. It was English. I was like, who is this?
And 23 feet, turn left.
Yeah, I was like, girl, I don't want that.
So when she looked, they've added a whole bunch. So now what did you go with?
They said it's an Irish Siri.
Nice.
So now so they've got specifically Irish Siri now. They've got Australian Siri. So now it's like it's one of those things. I've had British Siri for so long. I don't want to switch, but now I want to switch. I want to like cycle
there's
through.
Australian, there's Irish.
I wish I could have like a shuffle. Like just pick these other accents, please. Yes.
Right? Who you never know what you're gonna get when you put in directions.
I don't use the whatever I think it's called Bixby.
Got it. The default Google voice.
Yeah, I don't like using voice control stuff at all because it doesn't work.
Well, but like for me, I won't use voice control per se, but I'll put in like directions even to your house, right? And I'll hit go to, and then what she reads me comes back in British as well. That's what's fun. So it's not even necessarily like the voice commands, but it's just like I use a lot of the maps for GPS.
I'm trying to think of like I kind of do that David Attenborough. I did that one time. I was like, "Here we see the wild Jeremy Manthey sitting upon his chair."
Oh, his voice is one of my favorites.
He makes another comment, hosting the podcast.
Oh, I love David Attenborough. We just watched recently that documentary, which we can't spoil documentaries apparently. The new one he did about
Our Planet or something
Our
like
Planet, but like how species are going away and stuff
He's
like
like
that.
a million years old. I'm surprised that he's still going.
Yeah.
He just has another one that's come out since we've watched that one. He's got a new show out.
How old is he?
He's old. He's
gotta be
old.
in his 90s.
Oh, he even talks about like over his career, how much more dense the wildlife used to be when he used to go and do his job. And he would like go watch and do commentaries and go do filming and stuff like that.
And he talked about like how the tree population, the forest population has like significantly gone down by like 60% or something like that since he was
94.
Yeah.
He's 94.
94 years old.
He's only 4 years older than my grandma.
Well, way to put your grandma on blast.
Well, no, I'm just saying like my grandma is a spry. Like she's good.
Well, I just saw
So
the current oldest living person alive right now is 118, and it's a little old Japanese lady. There was just an article about her the other day, and she like
must just
jokes.
live a nice, clean lifestyle.
There's
people
something
do.
about the East Asian diet that's supposedly incredibly healthy. So, trying to. So what I was gonna say when you were talking about like your accents merge together and everything, like this is there's like specific like different like guys like. There's like the Liverpool British accent, which is like, "Oh hi, I'm in the Beatles."
Oh
you know, whatever.
Yep.
Not very good. And then like the London accent was like really posh, and there's like the Cockney accent, it's like, "Oh, you go nah,"
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's like you almost need to. I try and pick like a celebrity that I'm impersonating. So I'm like doing like a really bad like Steve Hogan.
Yeah.
Thing where it's like, "That's not a knife. This is a knife."
No, that's a
Yes.
knife. I love that so
You know?
much.
It's like, "Gonna get now you and go down and blah blah blah." You know, it's like whatever. It's better when you, like I don't want to yell because whatever, but it's like the more you yell with an Australian accent, the more it sells. Like, oi!
Yeah, right. I love the fact that British people or Wales, I guess, how when you break down the different areas people are from, how much they just completely bash on each other. Like, oh, the Liverpool scum and those stupid Welsh, turds and everything. I love the hostility. Oh, it's so much fun.
Well, I mean, are we really that different here?
Well, yeah,
But
it's the
it's
same thing.
like-
It's like you got the rednecks in the south, and
Exactly.
you have the Midwesterners that are
You got all the bums out in California, right? The surfer bums, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
No, you got the suits on the East Coast.
You got all the hippie
East Coast like,
hipsters.
"Hey, I'm a Tony. What you doing over here?"
That's like
Right.
Northeast, right? Bronx, New England
Yeah, where
area.
it's like you get the boss next, like you gotta park the car in the yard. I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
You got the hipsters up in the Northwest,
Oh,
up like Seattle kind
yeah.
of area.
Here we're just a bunch of lumberjack.
Yeah, I was I get like making different voices stuff was always really interesting to me. And apparently, like doing an American accent for a British person apparently isn't that hard, but doing specifically a Southern accent, which is like a really easy accent for I think I was like, "Howdy y'all, I'm from the South." Apparently, that's very hard for
Really?
people with an English accent to do.
Well, so for me to do it like well and mesh it into conversation is kind of tough. Like when you have a real Southern accent, and women have very pretty Southern accent, like specifically Southern.
I think you're thinking of like the antebellum Southern accent.
That is my favorite.
That which does not
from
really
like
exist
Gone
anymore.
with the Wind and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool though.
But
Makes me melt.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not Vivian Lee.
Calm down now.
I'm trying
What? She was what's her face from Gone with the Wind? In Gone with the Wind. Is it Vivian Lee or is it Vivian Leigh? Vivian Lee. I think it is.
Don't know.
You've seen Gone with the Wind?
No.
I mean,
tomorrow is another day.
It's a long movie, and I've
3.5 hours long.
I've only seen it like twice.
how many VHS
Frankly, my
tapes?
dear, I don't give a damn.
How many?
Actually, like the first time they swore in film.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the one with the train? Casanova. It is Gone. No, Gone with the Wind. What are we talking about?
Wind. Yeah.
What
it is Gone
train?
with the Wind. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I thought they're outside of a train.
No, that's Red Butler.
That's the Shirley.
I don't give a damn.
No, you're
No.
talking about.
And frankly, I don't give a damn.
And frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. It's from Gone with the
You're
Wind.
thinking of. Yeah, you're thinking of Casablanca.
Casablanca.
And
Which is
what
like
you're
my
thinking
grandma's
of
favorite.
Casablanca.
Casablanca, yeah.
Yeah, however it's pronounced. But yeah, so you're
It's
it's like the things don't amount to a hill of beans in this world. And not a lot. You're thinking of that monologue.
Oh dang! I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, Brad.
Casablanca, favorite movie line. I want to know if Brad's watched these.
Come on, Brad, back me up here. Gone with the Wind. I've only seen it like twice. Like I said, it's probably been a good 20 years since I watched it.
Yeah, it definitely must be Gone with the
Clark
Wind.
Gable and Vivian Lee.
Yeah.
Because the big one from there is just Here's Looking at You, Kid.
Oh, that is the big one from.
Play it again, Sam.
And that's like at the very end of the movie, isn't it?
Brad said he'll watch anything once. That explains why he sticks around here.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine. We'll always have Paris. Round up the usual suspects. Wow.
Man,
Speaking of the usual suspects, that's a freaking good movie.
I need to have a weekend with my grandma and rewatch like movies that I know Jeremy will not watch. I am so mad.
It's 100% Rhett Butler, Gone with the Wind. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I know. You should be kissed by someone who knows how.
Clark Gable is in Gone with the Wind. Am I right?
Yeah, no, that's the actor.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I cannot believe it.
And that is the first time they swore in a movie, isn't it?
People were so shocked.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't believe you used a swear word in a film. And now, like, Samuel L. Jackson.
What?
Have you seen The Usual Suspects?
No.
Okay. It's a joke. It's a Usual Suspects joke, and it's funny.
Okay.
Thank you, Brad.
Who knows
you made
what?
me laugh.
We're gonna have some fun here. This is the 100 most
finally,
famous.
we're gonna have some fun on the podcast.
This is the famous most 100 movie quotes of all time.
Okay, deal. I win.
With them being, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, is the most popular one of all time.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's hence why I know it. Does anybody know what movie, what year did that come out?
I'm guessing that.
What?
1929.
39.
39. Crap.
39. Okay, and then it was ad-libbed or was not. It was written as, frankly, my dear, I don't give a whoop. Now, could you imagine? Yeah. That doesn't have the same
would not
punch,
have
the
that.
same pizzazz.
Yeah.
It was the ribaldness, the extreme nature of the saying damn.
Can you imagine him, though, saying, frankly, my dear, I don't give a whoop?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a whoop.
That's stupid. I'm glad he
I thought you were going to.
I'm going to. Yep.
I saw a lot of thumb scrolling suddenly.
The stupid ads.
I hate ads.
Sorry. Nope. Just buy
Speaking
me a couple
of ads,
seconds.
this podcast is brought to you by
no one.
It's brought to you by Brad.
Okay, here we go. And then I'll say it, and then you guys tell me if you got the movie.
Okay.
And people in chat, you'll be 20 seconds behind, but even with the delay, we'll give you credit for it first.
Yep.
So I've got to just repeat it because I'm a horse of a different color. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Right? Exactly.
Wait, is it really?
Horse of a different
That's
color?
horse of a different color.
No way.
100% Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I thought that was just a term of
Well,
speech.
that's a horse of a different color.
It might be,
You
but it's
two are
famously
huge
used in Wizard of
nerds.
Oz.
You
yeah.
two are
Yes,
ridiculous.
it's Wizard of Oz, 100%.
All right,
but-
sorry, but
yeah.
anyways, that was not it. That was just me saying the first one because I'm very like I have to go in order because I'm like okay. So that's Gone with the Wind, 1939. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Isn't that from The Godfather?
Yes, yes.
God, are we doing the year too? Or?
If you can, sure, throw it out.
Godfather, I thought it was like 74.
72. That's really impressive. Nonetheless.
I would never know any of those, so that's all you, Chris.
Oh, Brad
Okay.
got it right.
I have never heard this one before. You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which I am.
I know this line.
I do too.
I've never heard it before.
What is it called?
It's from a play, isn't it?
No, well maybe. I don't know.
1954 is the year.
Gosh, I
On the waterfront.
Okay.
For the sake of keeping it going. Okay, this one, I'm going to cut the first word, or I'll just do the whole thing. It makes it too easy. Toto. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Wizard of Oz.
What year?
That was
39 as well, wasn't
39 as
I
well.
was gonna say that was the 30s.
Here's
it?
looking
39
at,
is a big year for movies.
Yeah.
here's looking at you, kid.
That's
The Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Okay, what year?
44.
42. Go ahead, make my day.
Dirty Harry 73.
Sudden Impact?
Well, that's okay. So Sudden Impact, that would have been 79.
83.
You're close to all of them.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Oh gosh!
If
I
you
don't-
know this, I'm going to be so
I
impressed.
don't know the name of the movie.
I don't either, but I know.
This is like 55, somewhere in that range.
1950 Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
Have you guys seen Sunset
I've
Boulevard?
I have
I've
not.
seen- I saw
but
it watched in college.
that line sounds really familiar.
Okay, number 8. I'm surprised this isn't higher. I'm serious. May the force be with you.
Star Wars.
Return of the Jedi. 83.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
A bumpy night.
All About Eve, 1950.
Okay.
Here we go. Now, I have heard about this movie and told that I've had to watch it. I have never seen it, but I've absolutely heard this
Have
line.
I told you had to watch it?
No, Rich Hennis. You talking to me?
Oh, Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver. Year?
God, that's like 75.
76.
God!
What we've got here is a failure to communicate.
I know I've seen this one too, and I can't remember.
We got some chat. See what we got coming in for chat.
So James was giving me crap for having a love fest with Brad. Swanky Criminal says some of these I haven't heard of. I haven't heard of a couple of them.
So what we got here is a failure.
Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Luke, 1967. Did somebody
James
call-
McLaughlin answered that. Thank you for giving me the answer.
Nice.
Whoa! All right, I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Oh! Apocalypse Now.
Yes.
Crap. 77.
79.
Oh, I was gonna say 79 too.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
I know this one.
That's in the 80s. I'm gonna say it's 82.
Set 1970.
Oh, is 1970? Is that early?
Love Story, 1970.
I've never seen it.
The stuff that dreams
Yeah,
are
Harrison
made
Ford
of.
is in Apocalypse Now. He had a cameo in it.
What? Really?
Yeah.
The stuff that dreams are made of.
That's got to be like a 60s.
The Maltese Falcon, 1941. E.T. Phone Home,
E.T. 81.
82.
82? I thought it was 81.
82.
Oh, was Close Encounters of the Third Kind 81?
Maybe. They Call Me Mr. Tibbs,
That's from Mr. Tibbs.
In the Heat of the Night, 1967.
Oh, okay.
Made It Ma, Top of the World.
No idea.
White Heat, 1949. I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Oh! It's that one about, it's like broadcast or cable.
You're so close.
What's it called? Network.
Ha! I love that you got that close. Broadcaster, cable, I know it's something like
network.
it. All
Yeah,
the
'cause
synonyms for it.
What's that?
All that you just named
yeah.
off synonyms. That was so
No,
funny.
they do. UHF, the Weird Al movie, does a really funny parody of that scene
Oh, funny.
with Michael Richards, who played Kramer in Seinfeld.
All right, we'll give this. We'll see if Kara knows this one. Lewis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. That's number
Lewis,
20.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Have I seen it?
It's been on the list before, this movie.
It's been on the list.
I think I know
Oh.
what it is.
What is it?
Casablanca.
Yep.
Oh. It's been forever since I've seen Casablanca.
Hey, Swanky Criminal, thank you for knowing UHF.
Oh, I love how they credit this. Bond. James Bond.
Bond.
That's from
All the Bonds.
the first Bond was...
It's got it listed as 1963.
Yes. Why can't I remember the name of it is? Oh, just say it.
Dr. No.
Yeah.
Okay, number 23. There's no place like home.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, man, Swanky Criminal, you're on this.
Wizard of Oz, 1939.
Hold on, what's that? I missed
There's
the
no
thing.
place like home.
Oh, yeah, Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Oh, I actually know this one. Show me the money.
That is... Well, I can't remember what it's called now. Rod Tidwell said it. Tom Cruise is in it.
It's about football.
I know, yeah, he plays an agent. I know the movie's on the tip of my tongue. Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
Oh, no idea.
Thank you, Brad. And that was 97?
96. You are so close. All right. I'm walking here.
Didn't you do that already?
No, I've not seen this. But
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And Walking Here has not been on here yet.
It's
a movie's been on the list.
Oh, it was Taxi.
Midnight Cowboy.
Midnight Cat. Oh, what?
Yep.
Oh, it was to a taxi that he said it to.
I want the
That's an
truth.
improvised line.
You can't handle the
A
truth.
few good men.
I want to be. That's correct, Chris. 92. I want to be alone.
Every
No
movie,
idea.
a lot of movies, but
Grand
with ancient
Hotel.
Yeah,
teenagers.
1932. After all, tomorrow is another day.
That's Gone with the Wind.
Dang,
That's
Chris.
what it is. After all, tomorrow is another day.
I'm guessing Vivian Lee
Yeah.
says that. Yeah, okay.
That's the closing line of the whole movie.
I
is it?
actually know this, but I would not have known it without seeing the name of the movie. I'll have what she's having.
It was one of those 80s or early 90s rom-coms.
Absolutely.
Billy Crystal.
Totally, 100%. Billy
Sleepless
Crystal?
in Seattle.
When Harry
No,
Met Sally.
crap.
I
Sleepless
know
in
that
Seattle's
one.
Tom Hanks.
Okay, you're gonna love this one. Chris is gonna beat you to this one too. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Jaws 70. Oh crap, 5.
Yes, Chris, 75. Oh man, this comes in at 37th. No way, this should have been way higher in the list. I'll be back.
Oh, Terminator.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
84.
Badges? We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
The treasure of Sierra Madre.
Oh. That was mid 70s.
If you build it, he will come.
Field of Dreams.
Yes, it is. I have
93?
been to the Field of Dreams.
89.
Oh, that's. Okay.
Do you know where the Field of Dreams actually is?
That's in Iowa, isn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
the worst state ever.
All right, we'll go to 50 and quit. But I gotta get. This we're almost there. This is 40.
We don't need no stinking badgers. That's a UHF. Thank you.
See, though, that's how I know that line. That's what's funny. I know that line. Badges. We don't need no stinking badges.
Yeah.
Okay. My mama always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Forrest
You'll
Gump,
never know what you're gonna
92.
get. Okay, this one's fun. This is 94 for Forrest Gump. We rob banks. I don't know how that's a classic line, but Bonnie and Clyde, 1967.
No.
I can see that being.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll always have Paris.
Isn't that Casablanca?
It
Yeah.
is.
Daryl says if it's not Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz, I'll probably forget the name even if I've seen it 100 times. Both classic films, by the way.
I See Dead People.
Sixth Sense?
Sense,
Kara
2000.
beat you to it, but 99.
I've not seen Sixth Sense, but I do know that I don't know how that line's not higher up.
I did not know the twist. I watched it right after it came out. I did not know the twist at the end. It blew my freaking mind.
I've not seen it.
Well, then I guess
Is that
you can.
something I would watch?
I guess it would
is
be.
It scary?
It's good. No,
not at all.
No, it's just good.
It's like a mystery.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you
okay.
like the one episode of Psych, you'd like this. Stella. Hey, Stella.
Streetcar Named Desire, 54.
Dang, how do you know all
Dang,
this?
Chris?
Well, nobody's perfect.
Well, nobody's perfect.
No idea.
Some Like It Hot, 1959.
I've seen that. It's a Marilyn Monroe movie.
Oh, Jerry, don't let's ask for the moon. We have the stars. Never even heard of
That
this movie.
sounds like a 40s movie to me.
1942. Now Voyager.
No.
It's alive! It's alive!
That's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
I'm going to guess 33.
31.
Dang. That was a classic MGM horror.
Houston, we have a problem.
Apollo
Apollo
13.
13. That was 95.
Finally, Chris, here you go. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do
This
I
is Dirty
feel
Harry.
lucky? Well, Do you?
Dirty Harry
Punk.
is 73.
Dirty Harry 71. You're always off by 2, and specifically you seem like you're over by 2 a lot. But even that whole line, you got to ask yourself, did you count 6 shots or 7? Or 5 or 6?
Yeah.
5 or 6. You got to ask yourself.
This
that
is a
whole
44
line.
Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world.
Oh, that whole line is super good. Clint Eastwood.
I've not seen it.
You Had Me at Hello. That one I know as well. So this movie's been on the list. Show me the money.
Oh, really? That's from that movie? I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
That's
Meg
Jerry
Ryan
Maguire.
or whoever's falling in love with Tom Cruise says
When
that.
Harry, which one was that?
Jerry Maguire.
Oh, Jerry Maguire.
You Had Me at Hello was Jerry Maguire.
That's such a good movie.
I've not seen it.
I've never even heard of this movie. One morning I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How he got in my pajamas, I don't know.
That's gotta be like
I've
an
heard
Abbott and
this
Costello
line.
movie. Or...
Animal Crackers, 1930.
Okay.
I've heard that.
There's
one,
no
but-
crying in baseball. These
A
are
League
just
of Their Own.
These are
91.
just too much fun. A boy's best friend is his mother.
Psycho.
Yes, dang, Chris.
And that was in the 50s, like 59.
1960. You keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Then you pretending to be Robert De Niro.
Yes, I guess.
Friends close, enemies close. No idea what it is.
Godfather
actually from.
2.
Godfather 2.
I've not seen any of the Godfathers.
Godfather 1 and 2, amazing. 3. Eh.
As God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again.
Oh, that is that Gone with the Wind 2?
It is.
Okay.
Sorry, these are just really fun. Oh, and then, okay, from the last Blockbuster to like tie everything in again, one of this guy watched this movie and he was only like 13. He rented it and he just watched it over and over and over again. Say hello to my little friend.
Scarface.
Yep.
That's like 83.
Yep. 83. Nailed it. Yep. What a dump. Beyond the Forest.
What? Oh, I was going to say Star Wars.
Yeah, right? You came in that thing? You're braver than I thought.
James is like, what? No Star Trek quotes?
Yeah, there's none. Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you? Gentlemen, you can't. Well, that was The Graduate, 1967. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Isn't that?
Patton.
Oh.
No.
Isn't that from John Wick?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Dr. Strangelove.
Yes, it is.
Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
That is the full thing that it's got listed there. Oh, here you go, Kara. Who's gonna get it first? Who's gonna get it first? Elementary, my dear Watson.
Sherlock. Holmes.
Oh, Chris beat you. He said Sherlock first. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
69.
68.
Dang it.
Here's Johnny.
Shining.
Oh.
82.
No thanks. I don't want to watch that
77.
ever.
1980.
90. Okay.
I'm just looking. So then that was in the 70s, and now these are getting real thin here.
That's okay, Brad. I believe you.
I have always depended on the kindness of strangers.
That is A Streetcar Named Desire.
Absolutely. How do you know that?
I've had to read the play.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Here's an awesome one. Kara should know this. She's just recently seen the movie. Hasta la vista, baby.
Terminator
Terminator?
2.
Terminator 2.
No, we
Judgment
didn't watch
Day.
2. Oh, did we watch 2? No, we didn't watch 2.
Oh, we haven't.
No.
Open the bay doors, please, Hal.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yep.
That was 68.
Stryker. Surely you can't be serious.
I am
Airplane,
serious, and don't call me Shirley.
75.
I don't know what it is, though.
Airplane.
I just know that line. I am serious.
Chris
don't
is
call
going to
me
smoke
Shirley.
this one out of the water. Yo, Adrian.
Rocky, 76.
Toga.
Is that Midway?
National Lampoon's Animal House.
Oh, Toga.
Okay.
Toga.
Yep.
Animal House, that was like 77, 78, something like that.
Listen to them. Children of the Night, what music they make.
Is that Phantom of the Opera?
Children of the Night. Night of the Living Dead.
Dracula.
Oh.
Is that like with a 30s Dracula?
1931. Oh, no. It wasn't the airplanes. It was Beauty killed the Beast.
King Kong.
Yes, Chris.
34.
Wait,
Oh.
the one with Jessica. No, never mind.
Here we
Jessica
go.
Lange, but-
I am very sad it is this low. This is the only reason I'm keeping going because these are super good. I hope this is fun. I think this is a blast.
Jazz participating.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Kara, you got to win this. My precious.
The Rings.
Chris still said it faster than you.
I know. I'm sorry. It takes me a second to register.
Poor
things.
Kara's brain. I've heard this movie. I'll just go for it. I've never seen it, but my mom loves it. Listen to me, mister. You're my knight in shining armor. Don't you forget it. You're going to get back on that horse, and I'm going to be right behind you, holding on tight, and away we're going to go. Go.
You've got mail?
No.
Your
On
mom
Golden
loves it.
Pond.
Oh.
I've never heard of going that.
That's so funny because now that one I've heard of. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
James Bond was that from the first one? Was that from Dr. No as well? Mm-mm. That's gonna be Thunderball.
Goldfinger.
Dang it. Goldfinger was 66.
Who's on first?
That's it gotta be a baseball movie.
I know it's an Abbott and Costello routine.
The Naughty 90s in 1945.
Okay.
When the Abbott and Costello could have been, whatever. I know you guys will know this one. Cinderella story out of nowhere. A former greenskeeper now about to become the Masters champion. It looks like a miracle. It's in the hole. It's in the hole.
That is The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Caddyshack.
Okay.
Isn't that the one with the
that's
gophers?
Bill Murray's line.
Yeah.
That's Bill Murray's line.
The
I've not
gophers.
seen
Isn't that the gophers?
Yeah.
He says something about killing the
Brad
gophers.
totally nailed it. Yeah. Caddyshack's a good movie.
Oh, here we go. I would know this one if I was playing this one. I feel the need for speed.
Gun, 84.
Yes. Wow, Chris, 86.
Gosh dang it.
Carpe diem. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary. Mimi is probably disappointed in me right now.
Patton.
Probably.
Dead
Rocky
Poet
Horse?
Society.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay,
God, that's a
I've
great
only
movie.
seen that once and I cried, and I'm not a crier when it comes to movies.
I would have figured Captain My Captain would have been the quote from that.
Yeah.
My mother thanks you. My father thanks you. My sister thanks you. And I thank you.
The Godfather? I don't know.
Yankee Doodle Dandy, 1942.
Okay.
I'll get you, my pretty.
Will
And your
Wizard
little
Oz.
dog, too. And last but not least, 100. Well, I can't have a memory. I don't want to misquote it. That's the only reason I'm doing this. I'm the king of the world.
Titanic.
Titanic, yeah.
Carol! The last one.
And that was what, 90?
3?
Titanic was,
95?
96.
97. Dang, I was way off. For the longest
2
time.
VHS tapes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it was.
For the longest
Bring
time.
it all the way back
Right?
around.
That was the biggest movie in the entire world for quite a few years.
The only movie to tie it for the amount of Oscars or whatever is Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Nice.
And both of them are way too long. Apparently, if you make a 3.5 hour movie where everyone you like dies at the end.
They just don't. The critics just don't finish it. They just assume it just keeps going and it's good, so they just give you the most for it.
I'll tell you what, Return of the King is an excellent movie, though.
I think the first one is better than the third one.
I like them all, really. Obviously.
Jared says I believe it was a 4 VHS set. We're like 2 hour or 2 tapes of special features. I just remember the double box
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
for Titanic.
Which one has the Battle of Helm's Deep in it?
Two Towers.
Yeah, the
That's
middle one.
a solid movie.
It is a solid movie.
The only problem I
Well,
have with it is it's literally like the middle of a movie. It just starts in the middle of nowhere and ends in the middle
That's
of
true,
nowhere.
the Two Kings.
Yeah, Two Towers.
The Two Towers.
Two Kings.
Where is the one with the elephants and then
That's the third one.
That's
I'm no
Return-
man and she stabs him in the
Return of the
face and that only counts as
Yeah,
one.
Return of the King.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
all.
when the Riders of Rohan show up and save the day.
Return of the King.
That's a really good movie.
Okay,
Chris.
I
I'm not saying
like-
it's bad. I just like the
build-up?
heroic beginning,
Yeah.
like the impetus, the call to action. It's so good in the first one.
Well, Gandalf is probably the best in the first one, in my opinion, because he's like more likable as the gray and he's more funny.
Yeah.
As the white, he's all serious, and then
Yeah.
the sun is always shining on him, and he's just
I get teary-eyed when Theoden comes over the hill and
You should-
gives his speech to all of his his Riders of Rohan. I'm just like,
I like that you shall bow for no man.
yeah, that part, yeah. The hobbits begin to bow, and he's like, my friends, you bow to no one.
I love
And
that.
everybody
Oof.
bows to the hobbits. It's like,
That is good cinema
Brad
right
says he
there.
loves when the trees fight at Saruman's tower.
yeah.
Oh, that is the best part.
When the one's on fire and he dunks his head to put it out.
Yes.
That's so
Yes. And how they're not gonna start, and then how the hobbits like convince them to, and then they like go down there and they get all mad. It's so funny. And then you were just talking about one of
Are
them,
you
like the
teary-eyed?
of the you shall bow to no man.
Oh, yeah.
That part, oh man, that part is so good.
Yeah.
It just invokes such emotion. But no, you were telling me the story specifically about one of the Ents that was like faster than the other
Oh,
ones.
Quickbeam. So in the books, there's an Ent called Quickbeam, and he is faster thinking. He's more forward thinking than the rest of the Ents. And so when
He
they're
must be like an Emerald Ash.
right. So when they're talking about what they're gonna do about Isengard and Saruman and stuff like that, Quickbeam, like the moment the hobbits asked, he knew exactly what he wanted to do, but it took the other Ents forever to finally decide. So he was put in charge of watching Pippin and Merry. So, but it's kind of cool. But okay, my beef with Two Towers is the fact that Haldir showed up and Haldir died. In the books, Haldir, the elves, they don't show up to Helm's Deep, and Haldir doesn't die. So I was angry in theaters when I saw him show up and die. I was like,
No.
what? Why would you kill a cool character like that?
What's the spider's name?
Shelob.
Shelob. I
A
get
spawn of
confused.
Ungoliant.
I was getting confused with Aragog from Harry Potter. They're the same thing.
I just remember, and that's actually from the Hobbit movies, right? That it stings.
Yeah.
Isn't that from the Hobbits?
That's why Bilbo
calls it the sting. Because Bilbo stabs.
So they're in the forest.
But is that the same spider?
No.
No,
It's not.
No, those are spiders
I
up in.
thought Sting only glowed around orcs.
It
No.
does. It does only glow around orcs. But
It's named Sting after stabbing a spider, I thought.
yep, it is.
Okay.
Okay,
See,
interesting.
I know something. All I know. Oh,
Man, we got some deep into some Lord of the Rings all of a sudden.
ooh, that's good. It's good, real good. People like it. They need a mix up.
Yeah.
When we talk Lord of the Rings, we need to have AJ here. My brother.
I need to rewatch. So here's the thing. I've watched the first Lord of the Rings movie about 40 times more than the rest of them. I always have the intent to watch the trilogy, and then I watch the first one, and then I usually end up falling asleep by the end of it, and then I just don't have any energy to do the second and third one.
I love having an actual background, but like a blue or green screen would be fun because then you can be putting up like a forest right now, and we're talking about Lord of the Rings or like all the
Yeah.
funny gags and
Yeah.
stuff you could do. But this is a real wallpaper background. I was gonna say
I'm
be-
pretty sure if we did put up a green screen, I think OBS has like live keying. and
It sure
stuff.
does, yeah.
So
It does because that's how everybody does their streaming. It's the
Well,
live
that's
key
true.
through
But
the.
with that, would we be able to do like the lights, the colored lights?
I don't know, maybe.
It wouldn't play. I
But
don't
the
know.
lights don't really get that far in.
Right.
The hot spots from these ones are probably more of a concern. But
Oh yeah, I suppose if you just did it over where R2 is and not the wood framing.
Oh yeah, that's a point. That's a point.
David has never watched any of them all the way through.
Oh,
What
okay.
is wrong with you?
It's time to wrap up, sadly enough. But then I do want to try that one test really quick after the fact. So
What
I had to
test?
play the sad trombone noise for wrapping up.
get your last minute questions out. But we got to wrap up for the night. We've hit our mark. Seriously, come back next week. It's our 100th episode of Rise of the Podcast.
Yeah.
It's going to be a doozy. Tell your friends. This is one time I'm going to say, tell your friends, get them to come here next week. They're going to have a good time.
We didn't do a listener mail call out, but send in listener mail if you want listener mail read on the air next week. It's going to be a big deal. We're going to do Star Wars leaks. We didn't do any Star Wars leaks this week, but we're going to try and hit all the things that we would normally hit, plus all sorts of extra stuff. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the outro here.
If you've
made it this far in the video, made it to the end, congratulations. Go ahead and give it a like to show that you want to see more content like this. Comment down below with how you feel about VHS tapes, whether or not that's part of your life or not. Subscribe if you're not already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time we upload or go live. Participate with us live. It's a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. And of course,
May the force be with you.